Here at A Couple Believe, we're all about inspiration. And that is why we teamed up with a company who's all about supporting the educators who inspire us every day. Teachers Insurance Plan, auto insurance dedicated to giving educators the special rates and great service they deserve. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Couple Believe. Today is a special one, our season finale, our first in-person interview, and we're here at LeGrand Coffee House, a place that was built on belief, resilience, and community. And honestly, there's no better way to close out the season than trying to bring Jersey together in some way. Our guest today is someone you may know as Sonya Deville from WWE, but today we're sitting down with Daria Berenato. Her journey goes way beyond titles in the spotlight. It's about owning who you are, pushing through adversity, and finding purpose when one chapter ends and another begins. This podcast has always been about real conversations, and having this one face to face makes it even more meaningful. Daria Berenato, welcome to A Couple Believe podcast.
What an intro.
You like
made
that?
me look bad. On my podcast, they get like, hey, he's here. All right, bring him in. That was very official. Thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate you making the trip down in person. As you said, Jersey people sticking together.
Got to do it right. Jersey sticks together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you hear, obviously people know you as, Sonya Deville.
Yes.
But when someone says Daria Berenato, what does that make you think of?
Oh, it's funny. I took so much pride in being Sonya Deville for 10 years. It was the greatest gift ever. But just being me, feels special. And to be able to have moments like this and talk about important things and just be my authentic self, it feels good. It means that little girl in Jersey 20 years ago had a dream and we accomplished some of it, and I'm still in the beginning of that journey, and I'm excited to do a lot more things in my life. But yeah, I think it's a cool moment for me to just be back to being me.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have very accessible. You do a lot of podcasting. We'll get into all this stuff, but maybe tell some fans that don't know some things about you or something that you keep behind the scenes.
Okay, I'm weirdly good at this board game called Settlers of Catan. Have you ever played?
No, I have not.
It's the most incredible game ever. It's like this underground secret. I don't know. They sell it at Walmart, so I don't understand why it's not like a more popular thing. But it's essentially like Monopoly, but with like resources. This sounds really nerdy, but I swear it's cool. So yeah, I'm like a low key, like I kind of want to like compete in Catan tournaments. I think that's a real thing.
So Catan tournaments.
Yeah, it's like a board game. It's kind of like a Monopoly.
Is
but
I was gonna say, is it like a Monopoly?
A little bit. It feels like gambling, but it's yeah.
Now you're talking my language. Okay, now.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's definitely fun. I golf. Some people may know that or may not. Yeah, it was a weird hobby I picked up in my retirement. John Cena had a retirement tour. This is my retirement tour. It consists of hanging out with my family, eating, and golfing.
We have some great golf courses here in New Jersey. And I know you grew up in Shamong, New Jersey, and you went to Seneca High School. And one of our producers here, Greg Hanna, his wife, Diana Hanna, was your, I believe, algebra or math teacher back in the day. So what was that like growing up?
God bless her soul.
How was that?
No, I love Seneca. It's a small high school in rural South Jersey, in Shamong, well, Tabernacle technically, and not many people know it, but it was just opening up when I went. I think it was like third or fourth year in, and I wouldn't take anything back about my childhood. We grew up in the woods. We would go four-wheeling and mudding in our jacked up trucks. Like it was like people think of country living, they don't think of New Jersey. But when you get into like the Pine Barrens and the outskirts of Jersey, you realize there's a lot of reasons why it's called the Garden State. So it was very simplistic. I played a lot of sports, and I have nothing but fond memories.
I'm so happy you actually brought that up because when we're talking about Jersey, like you said, we get a mixture of things. I consider myself Central Jersey. You might consider me North Jersey, but now...
No, I consider you Central. I believe in Central Jersey.
Respect and
yeah, not many people do. I understand the argument, but...
Argument North and South, so I'm Central Jersey, but a lot of people don't know what South Jersey is like, as you just explained. I always say, you think of it as country living, farmland, the backwoods.
Yeah.
And how would you say that shaped you growing up in that part of New Jersey?
Well, I just loved the simplicity of it. I was always outside. I was always playing with my neighbors. We were riding our bikes and always playing sports. I do look at it as like the good way to grow up. It's like we obviously didn't have cell phones like we have today. And so times are different, things have changed, but it was like really simple living. And it was like my dad would grill out every Sunday, and that was like kind of our ritual. And we'd all ride quads and um get stuck in mud puddles and have to figure out how to get them out. And that was my childhood. So I wouldn't change anything.
That's all that. I actually, funny you say, I'm in Central Jersey, but my friends grew up with the quads and dirt bikes. We used to have this place called
Right?
Acre Hill. And let's just say, I wasn't the best dirt bike rider, quad rider, but I got on that Joker, that TTR 90. When I was
Oh, say
breaking
less.
that Yamaha across Acre
Isn't it the
Hill.
best though?
It really
Just
was
like
fun.
to open road it and just like ride. I don't know. Something so freeing.
I never could afford it, but my friends, like I said, they had them.
Yeah, they had
And
them.
every time they went, I was right there with them,
Yeah.
whipping it around, doing my best.
Oh,
And
it's the best.
that was awesome. And Jersey, as you know, we're known for our food, and I know
Oh,
you're a foodie. So I need to learn some South Jersey spots because I've been to South Jersey. I know South Jersey,
I'm
but
gonna
I
give
don't
them
know
all
the
to you.
food spots. What is your
You
go-to
have to
food
go
down
though.
there?
But these are legit. Okay.
I'm trying
Pizza. Number one. Okay, I have two actually. If you go Jersey Shore, South Jersey Shore, not Seaside, not this
Yeah,
Belmar
AC.
stuff. No, no, no.
Yeah.
South Jersey Shore. You go to Ocean City, you go on the boardwalk, you got to get Manco and Mancos. It used to be called Mac and Mancos, but I think one brother went to jail or something. So now it's Manco and Mancos. And so Manco and Mancos pizza, best boardwalk pizza. Boardwalk pizza has like its own palate, like it's
Yes.
different tasting pizza. Then South Jersey in general, Bruni's Pizza. It's in Hamilton, New Jersey. You kind of go through that town to go to some of the shores. Bar none. They don't sell anything there but pizza. That's how you know they're good. There's no cheesesteaks there. There's no hoagies. Like you go there for a pie. That's it. And it used to be cash only. So it's legit like mom and pop shop. Italian food place,
Yes.
Maplewood.
Maple.
There's 2 or 3 locations, but the real one is in Hamilton as well. It's right on the White Horse Pike. Old school Italian. Every table gets a fresh loaf of garlic bread, a fresh loaf of regular bread, and a bowl of salad.
Hey, G, we're gonna have to check that.
It is the best. So you could be going there, you like just want like a, I don't know, piece of fish on a plate, but like you're gonna get 2 loaves of bread with it and a giant bowl of salad.
In my second life, I'm probably coming back Italian because the amount of pasta and carbs I eat
It's so
and
good.
bread is so good.
What's
I
better
don't
than
care.
Italian food?
There's nothing. I
Nothing.
love it. It is at the absolute
Absolutely.
best.
Those are my top like 3.
Those are your top 3. So
Yeah.
I know you do your reviews going around too.
I
man.
do. I
And
do.
so how has that been doing the reviews? Are you having fun with it?
I just love food so much.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny. My wife is so unrelatable to me because like we got together and I'd start a lot of conversation around food and I'd be like, "What's your favorite?" She'd be like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Well, what's your favorite food?" She's like, "I don't have one." What? Like all I do is think about food. I'm very food focused. So, I take my not so healthy meals very seriously. I try to eat clean predominantly, but if I'm going out for pizza, like I can take down a pie.
You can take down the
I
pie.
can take it down a pie.
As I see.
Thinner crust, not like
We're gonna
a
have to
deep
go.
dish.
When I go to these spots up, because I'm gonna go.
We're gonna go.
We're gonna have to check these out. These
Yeah.
South Jersey spots, because
What's your favorite?
so me, depending on if I'm gonna eat my pizza.
Yeah, give me.
If I'm going to my pizza, so we have a local spot called Strawberries, which I do love and enjoy.
Oh,
But when I start heading out to pizza, it's sad to say there's this one spot in Brooklyn, not Jersey, Lucali's. One spot.
I've had Lucali's.
I like Lucali's.
It's
I
good.
enjoy it. I
But
enjoy
you
it.
really picked a New York place?
I know.
We're
I
talking about
picked it.
Jersey.
It's not my
Put
favorite.
Jersey
It's
over.
not my favorite. I'm putting Strawberries,
All
Lucali's.
right.
Because you gave me a few.
I did.
So
That's
I'm
fair.
throwing a
That's
few.
fair game. Fair
I'm
game.
throwing a few. So that's why
Strawberries. I never had it.
Strawberries is
in-
right.
in
It's a
Woodbridge?
pub in Woodbridge. It's called Strawberries. It's actually funny because people are like Strawberries. What the hell is that? It's
Yeah,
not a
what is
pizza
that?
spot. It's very good.
Bar pie?
Bar pie. As soon as you got to get it there.
Okay.
Like when you bring it home, it loses. The
It
taste.
changes the whole thing. I
You got to
understand.
get it there. So Strawberries is.
All right, I'm gonna check it
Pete
out.
and Elders down the shore is another one.
Yeah,
That's a good one. So
that's a good one.
there's so many good ones.
What's your go-to food though? Like, what's your favorite?
Cheeseburger.
Really?
I am a cheeseburger.
So give
French
me a good
fries.
burger spot.
Ooh, good burger spots. So
Yeah.
I love the one in Newark, Cruise Tavern. They
Never
win like
had
that.
it.
They win the #1 burger every year in Cruise
Really?
Tavern. Shout out to Joyce and the crew at Cruise
Okay.
Tavern. It's in the Ironbound section over
Yep,
there.
yep, yep.
It is delicious.
Smash style?
Smash style.
Yes. All right. So the
So-
smash style is so important because the ratio to cheese and burger becomes perfect. When you get those thick like restaurant burgers and then they put one slice of cheese on top, I'm like, now I'm just eating a bunch of meat.
Exactly.
It's a meat patty at that point. I want like the smash with all the gooey cheese.
And the juices all there.
It's so good.
So Cruise Tavern.
You're
in
making me
Newark,
really hungry.
That's my
I haven't
go-to
eaten, I don't think,
spot.
since 10 a.m. We're going for burgers
That's
after
the
this.
good spot. All right, I'm gonna shift this conversation because
Okay,
now
go
I'm
on.
getting
Sorry.
hungry as
Yeah,
well
yeah.
too.
I love
I'm
food.
gonna go back to more of your childhood. I want to get into 16-year-old
Oh,
Daria with the MMA.
yes.
How did that come into play? And I guess how did that help shift your life into
Hmm.
that type of style going into that career?
Yeah. So I played lacrosse, basketball, and soccer in high school. And I was super aggressive, super competitive, but I was like mediocre at all of them.
Hmm.
I wasn't going to go to college for any of them. I wasn't going to get a scholarship. And I was a hustler. I was very career driven. So I was like, okay, if I'm not going to go be a pro basketball, soccer, lacrosse player, what can I be working on right now that can allow me to start pursuing my post high school dreams? And so I started to really think about what I could do that could be unique to me that I could maybe be great at. And I saw women's mixed martial arts on TV. It was back before women were in the UFC. This was when they were fighting in a league called Strike Force or Elite FC. And it was girls like Chris Cyborg and Gina Carano. And I just thought they were so incredibly badass. I was like, wow, they fight for a living and they're trained in all these martial arts and they're tough and they're strong and they're beautiful. And I would see them doing commercials too and stuff like that and just like branding themselves. And I don't know, I just something about it. I was like, I'm going to be an MMA fighter because the things I was good at in sports
Hmm.
was the aggression and the violence. And so I was like, well, if I go into MMA, maybe I'll just be good at it. And so I just became obsessed with it. My mom would drive me an hour away to a gym in like Washington Township area. And before I got my license. And I just fell in love with it. And I was like, this is gonna be my thing. And yeah.
See, that's funny because my coach at Rutgers used to always say to us, "You have to be a different person when it comes to high impact kind of contact game like football. Not everyone wakes up every day and going to say, I'm going to run down the field with a helmet on and smash my head into somebody.
Yeah.
Being an MMA fighter, you're
Yeah.
getting punched in the face. Tell me about being a different breed of a person, be able to
Yeah.
take getting punched. Obviously, you're dishing them out, but you get hit
It
too.
might have been ignorance, like ignorance is bliss. Me just not understanding the, severity of it. But I did have an older sister that used to beat the crap out of me, as older sisters do. And so I was kind of always like the little engine that could. And it was like, oh, little Daria. I was very thin and I was very scrawny. And so I think I was always trying to like prove something. And so, yeah, I just had that natural aggression. So I was like, I think this is going to be my thing. And once I started training, it became evident like I love this. Whatever this is, I liked the authenticity of it.
Hmm.
I did like the intensity of it too, but like you can't hide behind anything in a cage, you
No.
know? And on the field too. I mean, it's like there's there's nothing to mask the intensity and the rawness of it. It's like you're going in that cage, the door's locking, and whatever happens after that is everyone's gonna
I
see.
can only imagine. That gives me chills
It's
thinking
just it
about
was a
that.
cool feeling. Yeah, I definitely became obsessed with the nerves and the excitement and the buildup.
Would you say that helped you getting into your acting career too?
Yeah. And so it's funny, my mom would drive me to two places during the week. She would drive me to my acting class and she would drive me to my MMA class. So I always wanted to do both, which is really weird and funny and ironic that I found WWE because it was like the culmination of my dreams, right? It was like performing and athleticism rolled into one. So I guess it's not an accident that I ended up there. But yeah, I was obsessed. And I always liked when the stakes were high. I always wanted things to feel larger than life and important. I didn't want to ever feel like I was settling. I kind of always like, and I still do. I still like being out of my comfort zone, and I like when I get nervous or scared before I do things because I know that it like has some meaning to me, whatever that may be.
That butterfly feeling.
Yeah, I like that, and like I'll get nervous. Like I just filmed a movie last week, and I was very nervous. I had a lot of lines to memorize. It was a bigger part, and I was like, oh my god, I could screw this all up. But like ultimately, that feeling is what gets me excited.
It's the pressure of
It's the
knowing
pressure,
that
yeah.
situation.
Maybe I'm
Which
broken, I don't know.
Nah,
But
nah,
but
you're
I like it.
perfect. I love it. But I know I heard at 19 years old that you drove cross country to start pretty much your whole new life
I
there.
did.
What was that like?
Sorry.
What kind of car too? And what was that like
Yeah,
going
so I
to
had a
the
Camaro two-door,
Oh, okay.
and I was bartending. I think not legally because I think you have to be 21 in Jersey. Don't you have to be 21 in Jersey? Yeah.
No, is it?
Or in California, you have to be
Think it's
21.
18 here.
18 here. Okay. So I was bartending here in Hoboken. I saved up a couple $1,000 and I was like, I'm going to move to LA because I want to be an MMA fighter. I want to be an actor. Perfect place to do both is LA. I had my mind set on that. And so I packed up everything that would fit in my car, which was kind of impressive. I had a TV in there from my childhood bedroom, and I had, bags of clothes in trash bags. And I drove my car in almost a straight shot across the country. I got there without having an apartment lease signed. So I drove around. I got a hotel that night, and then I drove around, and for rent or for lease, I would walk in and I'd say how much, and I found the cheapest one I could find. I lived right on Hollywood Boulevard in Wilcox, so not a great area if you know anything about LA. But it was what I could afford, and so I went in and I did that, and ended up trying to find a job. It took me a couple weeks, and then finally I got hired at a store in the Beverly Hills Mall, making minimum wage. And and I found an MMA gym, and I found acting classes, and I just grinded there. And then about 2 years into that journey is when WWE found me.
So I was like, how would all of that at 19 years old shape you into what led you obviously into the WWE? I believe it's
Yeah.
tough enough. Like that sounds absolutely crazy, but I love
Yeah, it probably was crazy, and I don't know that I would advise the same path for anyone else,
that.
because you have to have a few screws loose. But my something I believe in wholeheartedly, and I'm doing it right now too, is like um momentum builds confidence, and confidence allows you to tap into talent and potential. So what I mean by that is, like, sometimes you just have to grab the tangible things in front of you that you can do. Like, if I want to be an actress,
Hmm.
it's not very tangible for me right now to go be in a movie with Brad Pitt, right? It's going to take something to get there. But what can I control? I can go get acting classes. I can maybe do a local theater play or something and meet people and network. And so these are the tangible things. And I like to use those as confidence builders to let the momentum roll. And so I always like to stay really busy and just do as much as I can, so that I can just kind of be motivated by the consistency and the momentum. If I stay still or dormant for too long, I get deterred. So I like to just stay busy. And so with wanting to do things like acting or become a professional fighter, where the odds aren't very high to be successful in those fields, I think you kind of have to have suspended belief in yourself, right? Like, you don't know why you believe in yourself, but you just got to keep going forward. And I do think that, like, if you can outlast everyone else, you'll eventually find some sort of success. I think success comes from failing tirelessly over and over again, as getting to the level that you did of your sport. It's like you got to just take the bumps and bruises and just not stop.
And how would you say, I guess, all of that played into your tough enough, I guess, audition or being able
Yeah.
to get into that? Can you tell us how you got into the tough enough, and
Yeah.
then we'll get into your WWE career.
So I was fighting MMA. I was trying to act out in LA, and I became friends with a woman named Maria Menounos, who's a host on Extra and E News and all that. And her and her husband had a podcast network called AfterBuzz TV, where they would do after shows on various TV shows. And I hosted their UFC show. And so we just became friendly. And one day she got a call for her to be on Tough Enough. And she was like, "Oh, no, no, I don't want to get hit in the head. And I don't want any part of that, but I have the perfect girl." And so she called me and she's like, "What do you think about WWE?" And I was like, "Oh, the fake stuff?" I was like, "No, I'm a fighter. Like, I'm a real fighter." And she's like, "Trust me, it's not what you think." And I'm like, "No, I think it's so incredibly badass, but don't you have to do flips and all this stuff?" And I didn't really understand what it was because I didn't grow up watching it.
Hmm.
Fast forward, I did the tryout, flew out to Orlando, did the physical portion of the tryout, absolutely fell in love with the sport. I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know this existed at this level. I didn't know how physical it was." I left there with more bumps and bruises than I've ever gotten in an MMA fight. So I was like, "Oh, I think this is the next thing for me." And so yeah, I got on Tough Enough. I think the reason I got on, to your original question, was strictly my tenacity.
Yeah.
I don't think I was the most skilled. I don't think I was the most anything besides maybe passionate. Um, so I have two daughters, and I talk a lot about that with them. I'm like, you just gotta have the fire. You just gotta have the fire. You just gotta have the want to do something. Um, People are gonna come with different natural talents and abilities.
Hmm.
Some of us less than others, but if you have that desire and that passion, I think you can outrace a lot of people
And then
just by sticking in the game.
absolutely. Then when you get to the WWE, now it's about, building this whole
Yeah.
new person and becoming Sonya Deville. What is that like as you think about the titles, all the things that you did during your 10-year career? What was that like character building and becoming this whole persona for millions upon millions of people to learn and see and watch?
Yeah. It was really cool. I didn't know how to be anyone but me at that point, and so I was a little overwhelmed. I was like, "Oh my god, what is my character?" But I came in with the MMA background. I was like, "Okay, I'm the MMA fighter. I'm gonna cornrow my hair like I do for fights, and I'm just gonna be the tough girl." And so that was so much fun and great for years. And I think because I went in with that character, no one really knew if I could speak on the microphone because I never told them I could, or I never expressed my desire to act in my acting classes and everything. So until one day, during the pandemic era, I went up to Vince and I was like, "Sir, I want to kind of deepen my character, and I would like to start, having the opportunity to speak on the mic because they would never really give me the mic. I was kind of like the ass kicker, right?"
Hmm.
And he was like, "Okay," and a
Typical
couple
Vince
weeks went
was.
by. Yeah, typical Vince. And something happened. A segment got canceled and moved around, and he called me and he said, "You're gonna have a big promo in this segment with Miz and on Miz TV or whatever." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." And I actually wrote it and I sent it to the
Really?
writer. You're not really typically allowed to do that, but I just had such a specific idea of where I was going in the storyline, and so I wanted to just put it on paper. And the writers kind of tweaked it a little, and I went out and did it. And I came back through the curtain, and he was like, "Why didn't you tell me you could do that?" And I was like, "Well, sir, I just was the ass kicker and I just was trying to do what you guys wanted." And so it was a very evolving journey, constantly trying to come up with the next thing. WWE, we're live 52 weeks a year, every Monday and Friday. So it's like you constantly have to evolve and change and grow with your character. So it was challenging and fun in all the right ways.
Every day, I roll the same streets you drive, walk, or jog without thinking twice. For me, getting to a coffee shop isn't just about caffeine. It's about curb cuts, crossings, and whether the road was designed with everyone in mind. Accessibility isn't special treatment, it's respect. When streets work for people on wheels, they work better for everyone. That's what respecting the role is all about, seeing the journey differently and building roads that move all of us forward. And now, back to a couple believe. Oh, there's some memorable, I guess, moments that really stick out, or a memorable match that
Yeah.
you had that really, like, like this planted who I am.
Yeah. During that pandemic era, I had a series of really cool segments with Mandy, one of my best friends. Um, I think that was probably my favorite storyline. I was really just being me and able to talk crap to my best friend in the ring. So that was super fun. I have a match with Liv Morgan, another one of my best friends, that goes down as one of my favorite matches just because we were hysterically laughing the entire time and just like having so much fun beating the crap out of each other. When I was GM, I had a lot of moments that I really enjoyed. I got to slap Adam Pierce and Naomi and, do a lot of bad things that were, totally acceptable and justified.
That's amazing. I know during that time with WWE, you also released Unwrapped. So what was that like? I mean, being able to
Yeah.
start sharing and being honest with your listeners at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just as I was leaving WWE, I launched my podcast with my wife. And that's been super fun because it's a totally different side of me, I think, than people normally get if they watch WWE. So, yeah, it just allows me and my wife to be ridiculous and raw and open and share parts of our relationship and our dynamic and our life that people don't normally get to see. So that's been really fun. Doing a podcast, it's fun,
It
right?
is.
Do you enjoy it?
I truly do. I
Yeah,
get to have so many different conversations with people from all different walks of life. So
right.
as we're sitting here talking, I'm learning about you, and it's cool to see how much you can relate to people because a lot of times you see people with all these followers, this big following,
Right.
WWE the crowds, but you got to realize they're just people. They're human
Yes.
too, and this is what it's all about: being able to just have a normal
A
conversation,
100%.
and just like we're doing right now. And that's why I enjoy doing the podcast because it's real, it's authentic, and you get to see the real person because
I agree.
everyone goes through their struggles, through their battles. It's not
Yes.
what you see on the camera all the time. It's the behind the scenes stuff, and that's what we're trying to do with this podcast.
I feel the same way. I'm very curious. I love having people on, just picking their brain and, yeah, understanding where they come from too. Yeah.
And I know you mentioned your wife, Tony. Tell us a little bit about Tony and what she
Mm.
means to you and your
Yeah.
family. I know you're very family driven, so tell us a little bit
Yes.
about Tony.
She's the best for putting up with me. So that's number one, first and foremost. She's very patient with me. Um, no, she supports me in every way. She's like a real she's just very grounded, very authentic, and very real. And so in moments of chaos, when my life is pure chaos, she is definitely the rock that holds us all down.
Mhm.
Not even literally, but like mentally and spiritually. Like she's just she's super real. So she keeps me grounded. She keeps me in a good state of mind for all the chaos that I bring on our lives. So yeah, she's the best.
And I know that you have a blended family, with your
I
two
do.
daughters that you had just
Yes.
mentioned. So what has that been like coming into that family role? I grew up with a single household, single parent mother.
You did.
So I know what that's like. And my dad was in my life, but I
Yep.
know having my mom there and molding me to the person I am. How do you take that, I guess, that role now, molding your kids into the people you want them to
Yeah.
be?
I was very intimidated by it at first because I just didn't want to like it felt like a lot of pressure. Like I don't want to mess these kids up. Like I want them to have the best experience. And
Uh-huh.
we are a very close family. Like the four of us, we do everything together. We just had our family Christmas party a couple nights ago. They had all their friends over, all our friends over. We do movie night almost every night before bed. Like we're very close family. I take their sports very seriously, so I'm like the annoying like mom in the stands just screaming bloody murder. I got my older one Giovanna into basketball a couple years ago. It was kind of like self fulfillment over here. I was like, You don't want to play basketball?" She's like, "No." Then she got into it and she loves it now. So that's like really fun for me. I go to her all her games. My little one's like a stud in competitive cheerleading. So very active family. We're always at sporting events.
Mhm.
So it's really cool. It's when this, when you're chasing a dream as big and bold as the ones we
Mhm.
chase, life can be very like selfish and you just kind of have to, it's all about you. And so with the kids and Tony, it's like really taught me so much about like just putting others first, as simple as that sounds. Like just things being more important outside of your own thing. And so now that I've been home and since I left WWE, it's been like a lot of family time.
Mhm.
And I really take pride in it. I'm like, wow, this is so important. And like they're growing up so fast and you never get these years back. So it's been really nice to just be able to like have all these moments with them.
And I know my mom will appreciate this next question.
Yes,
Because she loves to talk about the struggles because everything wasn't always easy. She
I'm
says,
sure. Yeah.
"What I guess are there some struggles as you ever see being a parent? Some things that face adverse moments. Kids come home with all different problems and
Yeah.
issues. How have you been able to handle that and giving them advice?"
Probably the amount of estrogen that's in my house would be the biggest struggle. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of females. So like, yeah, I have a 14-year-old, I have a 10-year-old. And so they come home and they got in a fight with their friend or this one's picking on them. And so it's constantly having to problem solve.
Hmm.
But I'm like a fighter. So like I have to hold back from giving like my real advice. And like, I'm like, all right, what's correct to say right now? Okay, tell your teacher. Like it's hard to guide them because in this
Yes.
world where everything like it's happening on social media and this girl reposted this that was a jab at me and like it's a lot of stuff like that and so it's very hard and I'm always trying to think of what to say, but it's a different world. We didn't have the technology they have now and the access they have now to each other. Like we would see each other at school and then we wouldn't really talk until the next day at school. And
Yeah.
then on the weekends, we wouldn't really see our friends at all if, unless we hung out. And so, but they're connected 24/7. So if something negative happens at school, it's coming home with them and they're on the phone. And so we have a good balance, I think, of trying to limit the screen time. I just don't think it's healthy.
Mhm.
And I'm a culprit of it. I'm on my phone a lot too. But just their little forming brains, I just don't think they're meant to be shoved in a device 24/7.
That's so funny you bring that up because I don't have kids, but I have two nephews and a niece, and
Right.
they're 16, 14, and 9.
Those are the
And
ages.
I feel like I'm like you. I'm kind of like someone since I'm old school. You go up to them and, you're ready to punch them in
A
the
hundred
face, but
percent.
things are different. Times are
It's
different.
different.
And I wonder how I would be like in my mindset. And the reason why I'm bringing this up because
Yeah.
you just said you've had to feel like tell your teacher this and that. I guess what is the shift from going from being that tough rah rah, like you go handle your business.
I
You do
know.
that to now. You know what? Maybe I got to step back a little bit. I got to hear what they're saying
Yeah,
because the way my mom was raised, what you say, but if you don't do it, then you're punished. You're grounded. This and that. Nowadays, it's a little bit different,
it
there,
is.
especially with the way things are. So I guess how have you see yourself change going from that?
Yeah, I think I've definitely slowed down.
Yeah.
I've become a little bit I'm trying. I can't even say I'm trying to be more empathetic, more patient. Um Yeah, and not just fly off the handle and be like, "What the kids say? I'm going to your school.
Yeah.
I'll kill them all." Like it's like holding back that fight inside me. Because listen, as a parent, any parent will tell you this: you just want to protect your kids from everything, but you realize with common sense and life that that's also not the right thing. Sometimes you want your kids to be able to handle some things on their own and to be strong and resilient. And so it's a balance, and it's one that I have not mastered. So I'm not sitting here to preach anything on that front, but work in progress. Communicating with them has become my key. I'm the talker in the family. I'll go sit on their bed for 2 hours at night and be like, "Well, tell me what he said and what she say." And especially my older one, she'll like fill me in and my wife will send me up there. She'll be like, "Go talk to. I don't know what's going on. Go ask her. She won't tell me." So like that's my kind of in with them, and so that's right now what I have to offer. I'm like, okay, I can be a voice of reason and try to guide as best as I can.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
you seem to be that if they're that comfortable with you at that age,
they
you got
are.
something special because
They're my
sometimes
girls.
they shut
Yeah.
down and they don't want to talk. But I want to shift now to your acting career because I know you're really starting to really
Yes.
get back into this heavy. And I guess I want to say, how has that shaped you, and what have you learned about yourself?
Like I said earlier, that was like my first and biggest dream. That came first. It was like I always wanted to be an actress, and so when you are born and raised in the Pine Barrens of South Jersey, it's not the most like real dream. It seems very far fetched, but I just knew I was like, one day I'm gonna be in movies on TV. This is what I want to do. And so WWE was the most amazing 10-year detour from that. But
Mhm.
once it came to an end, I think that's, you know, uh, you would see that after my WWE run, I had a very positive outlook because I was just so grateful for that unexpected journey. I fell in love with it, but I was also so excited to now do all the other things I wanted to do. And so acting was number one on the list. So yeah, I essentially called my manager the day I left WWE and said, "Let's go full force, like let's do it." Because scheduling conflicts before that, it wasn't the most practical thing to be doing while trying to be a WWE superstar.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was in February of this year, and I just wrapped on my sixth movie last week.
Wow.
So I am just I'm here to learn. I understand it's a new world to me. It might be similar, some crossover from what I did in WWE performance wise, but it's a whole new world. And so I'm just like eager, excited. I do probably 4 to some weeks 4 to 5 auditions a week. So
Mhm.
I'm just pounding the pavement trying to learn everything I can. I just took an extensive master class in New York City a couple weeks ago. So like I'm like here to be a student of the game. Like I don't want to just like dip my toe in. I want to do it. So yeah, that's what's filling my days these days.
And I believe is if this the movie that you're talking about, His, Hers, and Ours, where you took a big prominent role. And what was that like now? Taking a
Yeah.
bigger step on a film, and like you said, you learning a lot of lines and having to understand that. Take us into the background of that because I can't remember lines for anything.
Yeah, no, it is. That is the most nerve-wracking part, I will say. So his, hers, and ours was really cool because I got to act alongside Tay Diggs, who is
Tay
iconic, been in
Diggs.
so much great stuff. Um, Again, it was me and him in the scene, and it was my first real role. And so I'm on set and I'm so nervous, and he was the coolest human ever, made me feel so comfortable. And that was like a smaller role, so it felt more manageable being as new as I was. But yeah, it's a different world. Acting in Hollywood is a different world. It's very I don't know, I really just liked that I auditioned for this role.
Mhm.
I got this role. I am this character and now I can just like for a day become it. But then 3 weeks later be a totally different character. I think that's what's different about my past life and my new life. But and I like the change. I like being able to do something different every week.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is changing.
Yeah.
People always ask me, "What is my life like?" And I'm like, "Every day's a different
Every
day."
day is a different day.
And that's what I love about it. It's kind of like the controlled chaos,
Yes.
And I guess would you say would you fare so more of your mom or your dad's personality wise,
Oh
and who
god.
you are today?
My Probably my dad.
Your dad.
My dad's an entrepreneur. He ran a family business. He's a hustler, like works from the moment he opens his eyes till the moment he goes to bed still. And so I definitely saw that growing up and I really aspired to be that. Like his work ethic and his hustle, like I loved that about him. And I just grew up thinking like, oh, that like I'm gonna follow in that path. So I didn't know what it was gonna be, but I was gonna work hard and so I've been able to do a lot of different entrepreneurial things in my life. Me and my wife have a real estate business and
Mhm.
had some donut shops back in the day. So like I always have my hands in something and I like to be busy and I like to see things come to life. I like to create.
That's very cool. I mean, being an entrepreneur, I love the grind too. It's not always, yep.
Look at
It's
this.
not always, the side is great. The hard work, that goes into it,
It's
it's
a
not always
I can't
easy.
even
It's
imagine.
not always fun, but I do enjoy the overall being able to provide working opportunities for people in the community that
That's
comes
really
in here.
cool.
That's what it's all
And
about. And
it's like problem solving, right? It's like nonstop problem solving.
that's all I do is problem solve.
Right?
What machine is broke, this and that. Eric, what are we gonna do here? And here I am calling this person up, this
It's
person.
cool though,
And
right?
it
Like
is,
it's
I
like
mean,
figuring out a
it is.
puzzle every day.
If you would have asked me 10 years ago would I be doing this, I would have told you absolutely not. But now I'm in it,
That's
and I'm in
amazing.
it for the long
You're gonna
haul.
franchise? You're gonna have more?
We are going to have more.
That's cool.
We are going to have more. That's a nice release right now. I like that.
Yeah.
But as we're going, I wanted to ask you another question about your
Yeah.
acting career.
Tell me.
Is there something that you really, a role that you want to do, something that you striving for, something that you really looking
Oh,
forward to get into? Like a
so
dream job, I should say, a dream acting job.
there's so many because I just like want to do it all. But I will say, so I love the John Wick movies.
Oh, okay.
So like a female version of that would be iconic.
It's badass.
Like a new female version, something like that would be so cool. I don't know if you ever saw the series Blind Spot. It's like a thriller, action thriller series, female led. She's really badass. I love like crime thriller dramas, so I would love to like get a series. Do you ever see Reacher?
Reach. Oh,
I
come on now.
love Reacher.
Reach is my
Isn't he so
He's
good?
so good.
And
It's-
his story is cool.
mm,
He's been around acting forever, but
I
that was
love
like his like,
Reacher.
and now everyone knows him as Reacher. But like,
I forgot
I think
Jack.
having a series like that, yeah, like would be really cool.
I hope you get that.
Yeah,
I will definitely watch it because I love Reacher.
that's what I'm
Reacher thing.
manifesting. It's so good, right?
It's so good. Now my mind's been that would
I
be
just
really
we're
cool.
just planting the seeds.
I
Manifestation.
can't wait for you to see that. And I want to ask you one more thing about
Yeah.
MMA because I know that you got into a little bit more back into it now and back in 2025, getting
Yep.
into some in-ring interviews. What is that like being back involved with the MMA?
Yeah, so it holds a special place in my heart, right?
Mhm.
Because it's where I began. And so when I left WWE, it was like the craziest aligning of relationships where I Invicta MMA was a league that I used to go to back when I was a fighter and hope to fight for one day. It was one of the biggest all female MMA leagues. And so I followed them on Instagram randomly after I left WWE, and the owner followed me back, Shannon Knapp, and we connected, and I was like, "Hey, is there's anything I could do over and I would love to just be around the fights." And she was like, "Yeah." And so we've actually become like best friends. Have a great relationship, and so we're gearing up for some really exciting things in 2026. But yes, I will be there and I will be a part of it all. So I'm excited.
I got one fun personal one with you because I see
Oh boy,
you're tatted up.
I do have a lot.
I see most people don't know I'm covered.
What? Where?
I see you
Under
don't
those
people don't
sleeves?
know. I got a full sleeve on my
Come
right arm,
on.
my chest, my left arm's 3/4 sleeve,
You
my
got a good guy?
entire back. I just got a good girl. There's
Good
a
girl.
Paula. Shout out to Paula Lopez out of Bluefield. My entire back,
Paula
everything.
Lopez.
So
Really?
where did that come from? The passion for? Because mine started when I was 16 when I got my first one.
Yeah, I got my first one when I was 16. I think at first it was like I just want to be edgy and cool,
Mhm.
and now it's artistic. Now it's like I get pieces that mean something to me, like this eye. Actually, this is a new one no one's ever seen. Me and my manager, one of my best friends, we just got Fighters Fight tattooed on our wrist last week, I think. Yeah, just on a whim. Spiders Fight.
We broke down your life a little bit. I guess are there some challenges that you ever had in your life that say that you either overcame or that you're still working on overcoming adversity? Just from some everyone who goes through adversity in
Yeah.
life. Is there anything that you think that defines you?
So I will tell this story as a anecdote to that. I tried out for the school basketball team, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth grade. I did not make it any year. I tried out this is a true story. Tried out my freshman year and I finally made it. So not that that is extreme adversity, but my messaging is you have to believe in yourself before anybody else can believe in you, right?
Mhm.
Anybody else looking from the outside would have been like, honey, give it a rest. Like, it's just not your thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
4 years in a row, it's kind of a lot. I should have gotten the hint, but for whatever reason, I kept going and it was some of the best years of my life. And so I just think be your own biggest fan. You're going to face adversity in everything, in your competitors, in your coworkers, and maybe your community. When you have big dreams, sometimes it's hard to get behind, you know? We believe what we can understand and what we know and what's comfortable sometimes. And so step outside of your comfort zone, believe in yourself before anybody else does, and the rest will take care of itself.
And I know we mentioned how you, Tony, and obviously your children, you guys are very out in the public. How do you define privacy now?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's okay. Listen, I'm not Justin Bieber, so that's a great thing. I'm not fending off paparazzi at my local coffee shop. And I do take pride in living in Jersey and it being less chaotic than if I were to live in the city or in LA or something like that. So we do enjoy our privacy. I'm a homebody. I really am. I like Netflix, order a pizza, like that is my date night. That's my favorite. My wife's very similar too. So yeah, just enjoying our property and the recluse that I am these days, very much. And then, you get a little I go travel to the airport and do something fun, and that's like my little taste of adventure, and then I'm back in the home base.
I'm very much of a homebody. People don't think so because
Are
you
you the
see,
same way?
when I have my days off, when I don't have to do, or I can just work from home,
Done.
I'm at home. I put on my shows like
That's
Reacher,
it.
and I'll run through. I can run through a series.
Oh, it's the
Like
binge watching a series,
eight
forget about
episodes.
it.
People are like, how did you find the time to do that? I'm like, I find
I find
time
it. Well, I
for things that I enjoy.
I think you're like me. I have a switch, an on and off switch. So I'm like the most productive lazy person in the entire world. I'll either do so many things or it's like a day off and it's like nothing's happening.
I won't even leave my room until it's time.
That's it. It's
And-
all or nothing.
Well, that is great. Well, before we wrap this up, we wouldn't be able to do this show without our great sponsor at Teachers Insurance Plan. So I
Yes.
want to ask you, do you have a shout out to a special teacher or coach in your life that
Ooh.
really has molded you or that you just want to say thank you to?
You know what? Yes. Well, your amazing producer's wife was my freshman year algebra teacher, so I definitely have to give a shout out to her because I'm sure she was incredibly patient with me. So God bless her for that. And then, I had a teacher in middle school, Mr. Volpa, and he was one of the most incredible teachers. I was not by definition the most studious of students, and I wanted to be part of the student council. And no one thought it was a good idea, but Mr. Volpa came to bat for me and I made it on the student council. So he believed in me when no one else did, and I really appreciate that.
Well, shout out to Mr.
Shout out to
Volpa.
Mr. Volpa. He saw something in me that I don't even know if I saw in myself yet, but he had my back. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you, Daria, for taking a trip down to LCH LeGrand Coffee House
Yes.
and joining us on our Couple Believe podcast for our season finale. This was amazing in-person interview, our very first one. So shout out to you and shout out to Jersey.
Shout out to Jersey for sure. Shout out to you. I have to say before we sign off here, I'm honored to be here with you. You are the true beacon of inspiration and motivation. I mean, bar none. So I'm privileged and honored to be in your presence and to be in your awesome coffee shop. Everything you do is amazing. You're so inspiring and you really do change people's lives. So thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Well, thank you so much. It was an honor to have you here. This episode is brought to you by Mobility Works. As the nation's largest provider of wheelchair accessible vehicles, Mobility Works has been helping people connect with who and what matters most since 1997. Visit mobilityworks.com to find your ideal mobility solution today.